We spoke about the greater power of positivity, but is that always true? What happens when you see something truly evil? What happens when someone is destroying your community? Do you just smile and say it's all good? Rav Kook, the master of positivity, actually said no. There's a time for negativity. There is a time to fight. But it's probably not when you think it is. Today, I'm going to give you Rav Kook's decision algorithm, a clear method to know exactly when to use radical love and when to draw a hard line. First, let's establish the baseline. For Rav Kook, the vast majority of the time, the answer is positivity. Why? Because he believed almost everyone, even the sinners, has a good root motivation. He saw secular pioneers desecrating Shabbat and eating non-kosher food. Most rabbis saw rebels. Rav Kook saw builders. He looked at their intent. They wanted to build the land of Israel. They tried to help the Jewish nation. Their actions were wrong, but their root motivation was holy. The rule is, if someone is trying to build, connect, or help, even if they're doing it completely wrong, you use positivity. You find the kernel of truth and elevate it. Rav Kook knew that the heresy of the new pioneers resulted from a misunderstanding of the depth of Judaism. So it wasn't rooted deeply in their innermost will, whereas their will to build the land of Israel for the benefit of the entire nation was indeed deeply ingrained in them. So when do you use negativity? Rav Kook drew a hard line when the root motivation was separation and destruction. Here is the famous example, Eliezer Ben Yehuda. He was the father of modern Hebrew, but he wrote an article saying that Jews had turned their backs on their past and religion. He preached disconnection. Rav Kook attacked him. He called him a falling leaf rotting off the tree of the nation. Why? Because Ben Yehuda was not trying to build. He was trying to sever the nation from its roots. The rule is, if the person's goal is to cause separation from the community, to destroy history, or to break the unity of the whole, that is when you fight. You cannot elevate disconnection. What about when you're not sure? Rav Kook teaches us to look at the route. Ask yourself, is this person moving towards the center or away from it? Let me give you two cases. Case A person is angry at religion, but is obsessed with justice and helping the poor. Rav Kook's verdict would be positivity. Their justice comes from a holy source. Work with that. Case B, a person is polite, but is actively working to dismantle the community's survival and unity. Rav Kook's verdict would be negativity. You must protect the whole. Rav Kook wrote that he knows how to recognize those with inner virtue versus those with darkness who desire misfortune for Israel. The test is, do they love the whole? If yes, you can work with them. If they hate the whole, if they want separation or destruction, you must resist them. Even when Rav Kook used negativity, still it was different. He did not cancel Ben Yehuda forever. Years later, when Ben Yehuda came to ask him questions, Rav Kook did not scream. He answered him and then gently asked, maybe it's time to repent. He used negativity like a surgeon uses a scalpel, sharp, precise, only to cut out the cancer, never to kill the patient. And the moment the fight was over, he went right back to love. So here is a summary. 1. Check the root motivation. Are they trying to build or destroy? If they're building, even wrongly, use positivity. If they're separating or destroying, use negativity. Even when fighting, keep the door open for their return. In general, in case you have a doubt, use positivity because most people are basically good, and it's mostly external reasons that mislead them the wrong way. Therefore, statistically, you'll be more correct going this way. And besides that, a famous Hasidic master once said, it is better to be mistaken in false or baseless love than to be mistaken in false or baseless hatred. Thank you for watching.